Government is tightening mobility of domestic traveler from April 22nd to May 5th, 2021. The Indonesia Stock Exchange will launch a new index containing 17 Islamic stocks. Good afternoon, viewers. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of informations from the business, economic, and capital market sectors. With me, Wicky Adrian, this is Market Headlines. The government, through the COVID-19 Handling Task Force, is now tightening the mobility of domestic travel, which is valid from 22nd April 2021 to 5th May 2021. This is as a part of eliminating homecoming from May 6th to May 17, 2021.
The period for tightening mobility of domestic traveler is 2 weeks before the period of homecoming ban, which is May 6, 2021. The tightening period takes effect from April 22nd, 2021 to May 5th, 2021. After that, there will be tightening second period, which will be taken a week after ban on homecoming by May 7th, 2021. This will be valid from May 18 to May 24th, 2021. And there are terms and conditions behind mobility of domestic traveler tightening. For example, air and sea transportation travelers must show a negative result of the PCR test or rapid antigen test, whose samples are taken within a maximum period a day before departure. From all sources, IDX Channel.
The Land Transportation Organization expressed its disappointment towards regulation on prohibiting homecoming during 2021 Eid al-Fitr. The ban leads to burden land transportation that is currently hit hard during pandemic.
The Land Transportation Organizations is disappointed with the government's regulations on prohibiting homecoming in this year's Eid al-Fitr. The potential to get profit this year becomes lesser. For that, General Secretary of Land Transportation Organizations, Ateng Aryono, stated that homecoming ban can further break land transportation's business survival in the midst of pandemic. The government is expected to help to ease the burden before the business knockout soon.
Merasakan bahwa langkah bertahan hidup ini untuk semua usaha angkutan angkutan jalan ini memang luar biasa berat. Itu yang ada, sehingga ketika berbagai kewajiban perusahaan angkutan itu cukup berat untuk itu dilakukan memenuhi kewajiban itu. Akibat semata-mata karena penurunan demand yang sangat drastis.
Ateng said government interference is expected to ease the finance of business actors. For example, in matters of paying vehicle tax letter, easing bank credit, up to providing incentives for employees. Jakarta, Rikan Wardi, IDX Channel.
Moving on to agriculture sector, government ensures grain price in smallholders level will be at 4,200 a kilogram. This is equal as government purchase price.
Minister of Agriculture Syahrul Yassin Limpo ensured that the price of harvested grain at the farmer level is in accordance with the government purchase price of 4,200 a kilogram. Recently, grain prices have been going fluctuatively, but then the government ensures it will not go down and keep the price in the stable level. Besides that, the government will also provide combined machines, which is a paddy harvester, to farmers in the near future. These aim to support government programs to boost self-sufficiency food, including suppressing rice imports until next June.
perintah Bapak Presiden pada saya untuk membiarkan combine factor yang bagus. Yang bagus ya Pak Direktur. Dan ini minggu usahakan sudah sampai di stasiun. Bahwa serapan gabah itu sudah di atas rata-rata 4.200. Kemarin-kemarinnya pernah jatuh memang, tetapi sekarang sudah mulai membaik. Nah, kita pertahankan sudah mulai membaik itu.
Previously, during a working visit, President Jokowi emphasized that the government does not want to import rice, but due to crop failure, including other obstacles, the government ensures that in the near future it will not impact the import rice until next June. From Jakarta, Adi Firmansyah, IDX Channel.
And still from agriculture sector, now we move to beef price that is currently high in the market. Minister of Trade said that rising beef prices because imported beef from Australia is still under pressure due to Australia's major blaze back then in 2019.
Minister of Trade Muhammad Lutfi said that the beef price in the market, which is approximately 124,000 rupiah a kilogram today, is considered normal, even though there are many complaints from public and traders. Lutfi argued that the high price of beef was caused by disrupted beef imports from Australia due to fire disasters, which causing disruptions of a structure of cattle farming in Australia. According to him, the current price of live cattle from Australia is still high. It makes beef price in domestic market is not yet normal, and even so, he admits that the price can still be controlled due to falling demand due to the closure of hotels and restaurants. Other than that, better domestic beef supply also supports the stability of beef prices.
Permasalahan utama daripada sapi ini adalah karena impor kita yang dominan itu dari Australia. Jadi kalau kita lihat ekspor Australia itu 52% dari sapi Australia itu perginya ke Indonesia. Tetapi pada hari ini Australia itu mengalami gangguan ekspor untuk sapinya itu karena terjadi kebakaran dahsyat tahun 2019 yang menyebabkan runtuhnya struktur daripada persapian Australia.
Minister Lutfi also ensured that until Eid al-Fitr, the price of beef can be controlled at the level of 124,000 rupiah a kilogram. He is optimistic that beef demand can be fulfilled. From Jakarta, Rizka Ayu, IDX Channel.
Market headlines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Berkah kedamaian Ramadan dengan beragam program spesial IDX Channel. Arjuna, intip keseruan memasak dan perjalanan mencicipi kuliner khas Nusantara bersama Chef Juna. Hadir setiap hari jam 5:30 sore. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rahmatan lil alamin. Siraman rohani bersama Ustadz A.A. Gim yang penuh inspirasi Islami setiap hari menjelang azan maghrib. Urban Street Food, referensi sajian berbuka, kuliner pinggiran kota yang menggugah selera, hadir setiap hari jam 6 sore.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Obrolan seputar ekonomi dan bisnis syariah dengan narasumber yang menginspirasi dalam Syariah Economic bersama Ustadz Hilman Fauzi. Setiap hari jam 8 malam.
Kita nggak bisa kabur. Luar biasa ya.
Berkah kedamaian Ramadan hanya di IDX Channel spesial Ramadan.
Welcome back. Through its first quarter 2021 financial report, Astra International stated that it has invested in two domestic startups, namely Halodoc and Sayurbox, with a total investment value of up to $40 million.
Through its first quarter 2021 financial report, the conglomerate group Astra International stated that it has invested in two domestic startups. Astra International invests in a startup that provides basic necessities, Sayurbox, worth $5 million or around 72 billion rupiah. Astra is also injecting capital for a startup company in the health sector, Halodoc, $35 million or 508 billion rupiah. The financial report also revealed that the corporate action had been carried out since last March. Sayurbox is a farm-to-table grocery e-commerce, and during the first quarter of 2021, Sayurbox noted that service demand increased by 30% on an annual basis. Meanwhile, Halodoc provides digital-based health services with the number of users increasing 25 times in the last 3 years, where currently Halodoc has 20 million monthly active users. The number of transactions also jumped up by 16 times. IDX Channel team reported.
The presence of startups is one of the investment opportunities both for venture capital or conglomerate companies that are interested in injecting some of their funds. One of them is Astra Group, which was recently reported to have taken part in funding for two local startups, namely Halodoc and Sayurbox. And for more details, let's just go to the first graphic in today's infographic session or segment in Market Headlines. This is the realization of Indonesian healthcare startup funding in early 2021. The name of the startup is Halodoc, and series and value, the Series C, the value as much as $80 million. The list of investors are Astra, Temasek, Telkomsel, Mitra Investasi, Novo Holdings, Accrue, Diversify Capital Fund, and Bangkok Bank. And Halodoc provides digital-based health services with 20 million monthly active users, or an increase of 25 times in the last 3 years. And not only that, the number of transactions also jumped 16 times. This increase is supported by the ecosystem, namely more than 20,000 licensed doctor partners, 2,000 hospitals, clinics and laboratories, and 4,000 pharmacies. Regarding the funding, Halodoc CEO Jonathan Sudarta said that the fresh funds will be used to expand penetration in various major health verticals and improve user experience. And not only health startups, the Astra Group also participates in funding an agricultural-based startups, namely Sayurbox. And let's see more information in the next graphics. The name of startups, as I mentioned before, Sayurbox. The business scope is e-commerce grocery farm-to-table platform and distributor of fresh goods, and the total funding as much as $5 million or equal with 72 billion rupiah. The funding objectives as the part of the company's initiative to accelerate digital transformation. In the midst of a pandemic, startups that provide fresh agricultural products are one of the favorites. One of the startups is Sayurbox, which is a farm-to-table grocery e-commerce, and not only experienced an increase in the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, even throughout the first quarter of 2021, Sayurbox noted that service demand increased 30% of an annual basis. And for last year, Sayurbox collaborated with 1,000 farmers in several areas, including Surabaya and Bali. Meanwhile, not only Halodoc and Sayurbox, several other startups also managed to secure funding at the end of 2020. What are these startups? Let's see on the next graphics. These are the list of startups secured funding in the fourth quarter of 2020. We have Halodoc without H, the series and value, series C, the value of the investment as much as $33 million or 465.7 billion rupiah. The name of investor is MDI Ventures. Meantime, Investri, the series or the value of the investment as much as $15 million or as much as 211.7 billion rupiah. And the name of investor is Ashel Capital. Meantime, Logistically, the series as it can be seen on your screen, Series A, the value of the investment, $6 million, and the name of the investor is Monks Hill Ventures. And President Director of Alo Dr. Suci Arumsari said that the additional capital would be used by the company to complement various services, making it easily accessible and affordable for the public. Meanwhile, Investri co-founder and CEO Adrian Gunadi revealed that the additional capital will be used to expand lending to micro, small, and medium enterprises. And on the other hand, Logistically co-founder and CEO Rulin Nyoto Setiadi said that the proceeds from the funding will be used by the company to streamline costs. The 3 startups that received this funding are only some of the startups that managed to secure funding throughout the fourth quarter of 2020. And the question is, how many funding deals were made in the previous quarters? The data is in the next graphic. This is the realization of Indonesian startup funding in the first quarter of 2020. As much as 23 deals were signed. The total value of the investment at that period as much as 18.7 trillion rupiah. And meantime, in the second quarter of 2020, as much as 33 deals were signed. The total value of the investment as much as 1.4 trillion rupiah. And meantime, for the third quarter of 2020, as much as 25 deals were signed. The total value of the investment that was signed and that time as much as 6.8 trillion rupiah. The venture capital company Cento Ventures released a report entitled Southeast Asia Tech Investment in 2020. In the report, it was stated that the total amount of funding in Southeast Asia in 2020 reached $8.2 billion from a total of 333 investment. Of the total funding in Southeast Asia, as much as 70% or around 82.9 trillion rupiah was invested in technology startups from Indonesia. This dominance was driven by funding of 3 billion obtained by Gojek from several technology giants such as Facebook, PayPal, Google, and Tencent. And apart from Gojek, several Indonesian startups that have also managed to get big investments from investors are Kopi Kenangan, Link Aja, and Wear6. In the fintech sector, Indonesia also leads the way with an allocation of 51% of total funding in Southeast Asia. And hopefully the massive funding for Indonesian startups will have a wide multiplier effect, both for economic turnover and benefits for society in general. Stay tuned on Market Headlines because we'll be right back after the break. Ya, Otoritas Jasa Keuangan telah resmi menerbitkan belit yang mengatur modal inti minimum bank. Dengan penerbitan aturan ini,
bank ini heavily regulated, Mas. Jadi bank itu nggak bisa pindah tangan begitu saja, harus approval oleh OJK.
Menteri Keuangan Sri Mulyani Indrawati mengatakan bahwa industri keuangan syariah tumbuh mengesankan.
Di masa pandemi ini kita masih bisa bertahan dan bahkan menunjukkan kinerja yang sangat baik.
Kunci kunci dari kesuksesan hulu migas Indonesia ke depan ini apa, Pak?
Fleksibilitas fiskal yang akan dikeluarkan untuk menjaga keekonomian. Investor akan datang itu saja.
Oke, Pak.
Keekonomiannya terjamin.
Pemerintah secara resmi melarang mudik lebaran pada tahun 2021 ini.
Larangan mudik akan dimulai pada tanggal 6 Mei sampai dengan 17 Mei 2021.
Majelis Ulama Indonesia memperbolehkan penggunaan vaksin COVID-19 untuk produk AstraZeneca pada saat ini.
Penggunaan vaksin COVID-19 produk AstraZeneca pada saat ini hukumnya dibolehkan.
Berkah kedamaian Ramadan dengan beragam program spesial IDX Channel. Arjuna hadir setiap hari jam 5:30 sore. Rahmatan lil alamin setiap hari menjelang azan maghrib. Urban Street Food hadir setiap hari jam 6 sore. Syariah Economic bersama Ustadz Hilman Fauzi setiap hari jam 8 malam. Hanya di IDX Channel spesial Ramadan.
We're in the last segment at the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement. Earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,004.79, and then approaching the closing time of the session, the index was on the level of 5,983.78. Then the index was showing strengthening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 5,994.18. In short, JCI went up 0.02%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got Miss Industry as the leader of the strengthening trend that went up 3.09%. Infrastructure went up 0.48%. And we got Basic Industry as the leader of the weakening trend that went down 0.75%. Consumer goods went down 0.4%. And moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. Astra International went up 4.31% to the level of 5,450 rupiah per share. TAPG went up 4.9% to the level of 750 rupiah per share. BBCA went up 0.81% to the level of 31,075 per share. And BBTN went up 5.59% to the level of 1,700 per share. Meantime, the top losers, we got BBRI, went down 0.71% to the level of 4,200 rupiah per share, and NTM went down 0.84% to the level of 2,350 rupiah per share, and BBNI went down 1.73% to the level of 5,675 rupiah per share, and Friend went down 4.4% to the level of 87 rupiah per share. And this is the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,549 rupiah was also showing strengthening trend towards US dollar. It was closed at the level of 14,460 rupiah. In summary, rupiah went up 0.24%. The Indonesia Stock Exchange will launch a new index containing 17 Islamic stocks from state-owned companies and their subsidiaries with good liquidity and large market capitalization.
The Indonesia Stock Exchange will launch a new index containing 17 Sharia stocks from state-owned companies and their subsidiaries with good liquidity and large market capitalization. Director of the Indonesia Stock Exchange, Hasan Fauzi, said that April 29, 2021, the IDX will launch a new index called IDX Mass BUMN 17. Currently, the three stock indexes of the IDX that are Sharia-based are the Indonesian Sharia Stock Index, the Jakarta Islamic Index 70, and the Jakarta Islamic Index, which contains 30 stocks categorized as Sharia. In addition, the IDX also has the IDX BUMN 20 Index. Hasan added that the making of IDX Mass BUMN 17 was a collaboration between the IDX and the Islamic Economic Community Association. Hasan said that so far there have been a number of investment managers who have communicated with the IDX regarding the potential for issuing new products using the underlying IDX Mass BUMN 17. IDX Channel Team reported.
Pakuan Jati reported that marketing sales in the first quarter of 2021 reached 27 billion rupiah, which was dominated by the landed house sales.
Issuer Property Pakuan Jati revealed that sales of landed house dominates the company's pre-sales or marketing sales revenue during the first quarter of 2021. Director and Corporate Secretary of Pakuan Jati, Minarto Basuki, conveyed the marketing sales of issuers with the PWON stock code valued at 427 billion rupiah in the January to March 2021 period. Meanwhile, the realization grew 17% compared to the same period last year. The achievement is 30.5% of the marketing sales target set for this year of 1.4 trillion rupiah. In detail, Minarto said that 52% of the marketing sales came from the sale of landed houses. Meanwhile, the remaining 48% was contributed by sales of tall buildings or apartments. For information, throughout 2020, Pakuan recorded marketing sales of 1.02 trillion rupiah. Judging from the type of product, pre-sales of apartments was still the highest at 60%, followed by landed house at 37%, while the remaining 3% comes from offices. IDX Channel team reported.
Except Indonesia posted revenue of 381.05 billion rupiah in the first quarter of 2021. This achievement has decreased by 20.2% compared to the same period in 2020.
Aksat Indonesia posted revenue of 380.05 billion rupiah in the first quarter of 2021. This achievement has decreased by 20.2% compared to the same period in 2020. President Director of Aksat Indonesia Idot Supriyadi explained in early 2021 the company recorded a decrease in net loss of 124.44 billion rupiah to 79.68 billion rupiah. This decline was caused by the slowdown in projects as well as a delay in tenders due to the pandemic. The director added, to deal with the decline in revenue, the company remains focused on internal improvement efforts aimed at strengthening the company's fundamentals so that it is ready to move along with the recovery that will occur in the construction industry going forward. In addition, in the first quarter of 2021, Aksat Indonesia has held new contracts totaling 142.29 billion rupiah, which consist of projects in the fields of foundations and infrastructure. IDX Channel team reported.
Step aside from market condition as coronavirus pandemic takes big role in current economic situation, and here it is an update data about coronavirus globally. And the news close our market lines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business and Capital Market Channel. I'm Wicky Adrian. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wala ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala rasulillahi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yaumiddin. Pemirsa yang dirahmati Allah Subhanahu wa taala, senang bahagia kembali bisa berjumpa dalam program kesayangan kita Syariah Economic, hidup dengan ekonomi syariah, meraih berkah, menggapai jannah. Dan alhamdulillah pada kesempatan episode kali ini Syariah Economic akan membahas tentang transaksi yang dibolehkan dalam syariah. Kalau dalam episode sebelumnya kita membahas tentang beberapa transaksi yang diharamkan dalam Islam ya, yakni al-ghis, kemudian riba ya, kemudian maisir, gharar dan lain sebagainya. Nah, hari ini coba kita akan kupas sebenarnya ekonomi syariah sebagai bagian dari the way of life, jalan kehidupan untuk manusia, tidak hanya bicara tentang yang dilarang saja, tetapi ada solusinya, ada alternatifnya yang ditawarkan oleh Islam terkait dengan apa saja yang diperbolehkan. Dan alhamdulillah sudah hadir bersama saya hari ini, saya bersama teman saya, sahabat saya sekaligus guru, yang beliau juga adalah dosen ekonomi syariah dari Sekolah Tinggi Agama Islam Asy-Syukriyah. Sudah ada bersama kita Ustadz Irwan Maulana. Assalamualaikum Ustadz.
Assalamualaikum.
Sehat Ustadz?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Senang banget nih Ustadz bisa ketemu dengan Ustadz Irwan.
Sama-sama, alhamdulillah.
Terima kasih banyak sudah mau direpotin sama Syariah Economic nih.
Insyaallah.
Baik Ustadz Irwan. Kalau tadi saya memulai dengan transaksi yang diperbolehkan dalam Islam, nah sebenarnya boleh digambarkan kepada pemirsa kira-kira apa saja transaksi-transaksi yang diperbolehkan dalam Islam. Kemudian nanti seperti apa landasan hukumnya, coba kita sambil jalan membicarakan itu Ustaz. Monggo Ustaz.
Insyaallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Berbicara masalah jual beli yang diperbolehkan dalam Islam, ini termasuk ke dalam frame ukut al-muamalah, akad-akad dalam muamalah. Sebagaimana kita ketahui bahwasanya muamalah ini sifatnya sangat dinamis. Sebagaimana termaktub dalam kaidah fikihnya bahwasanya al-aslu fil muamalah al-ibahah. Pada landasan prinsipnya setiap konsep apapun muamalah hukumnya boleh untuk dilaksanakan hatta yadullad dalil ala tahrimiha, sampai datangnya sebuah dalil bahwasanya A ini haram, B ini boleh dan sebagainya. Seperti itu ya. Karena sifatnya adalah dinamis, maka semua kembali kepada arkan atau rukun dalam jual beli. Allah Subhanahu wa taala berfirman dalam surat Al-Maidah ayat 1, ya ayyuhalladzina